Hey guys, JV here with a commentary sharing my thoughts on the opening hour demo for Prey. I was surprised to stream nearly 4 hours of the game last night since there was plenty to see, read, and explore beyond just the first hour. If you'd like to see that extended gameplay, I've left a link in the description below. I enjoyed myself so much that Prey is shaping up to be one of my favorite games of early 2017. Before we start, I will discuss everything in the demo, so expect spoilers for the story for the first few hours. So far, have been very interesting in the narrative. There have been several different events so far in the first few hours that have already drawn me in, several different parts working together. Understanding who Morgan is by looking at the past, since he seems to have gone through several different iterations of the neuromods, removing them and resetting his memories completely, as we found out. And of course, solving the alien outbreak aboard Talos I. If this isn't something that gets solved, then there's going to be some very serious issues for humanity. You know, it's a larger issue there. Of course, we have to figure out what Alex Yu's motivations are. Our own brother, for some reason, he's been allowing this simulation to go on for an extended period of time, and we don't know why. We only communicate with him once. He wants to talk to us in person, but we don't know if he's trying to help us or hurt us. We just don't know yet. Also, figuring out why you were in that simulation for an extended period of time. I've kind of found a little bit of a hint through some emails. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like more is going to be uncovered as I play through the game, obviously. We have to figure out what TranStar's secret operations are, because we know there's a level of the station where normal people are not allowed. They just can't go down there, and they can't interact with anybody who works in that area. Since we're playing a character that doesn't fully grasp their own memory, they can't remember what happened before because of the neuromods and simulation, whatever it may be, it's going to be interesting to learn more about this world and this universe, because as we found early on in the game, this is an alternate history kind of thing going on. JFK lived, and as a result, he funded this space race, and we really did excel and advance in space technology, and even created a space elevator and Talos I, and found, you know, the Typhon and all of this stuff. So it's very interesting to learn more about this lore and the world. Thematically, we're already exploring things like greed, you know, TranStar's thirst for money with selling neuromods and not telling consumers that the neuromods actually, if you remove them, if you take them out, then your memory is just reset. I mean, there's a specific email I remember reading like, holy shit, that is some shady stuff going on. And of course, the thirst for knowledge and the advancement of humanity. These ideas are at the core of some of the people that I have read about, and either I'm going to meet them or they're already dead. We don't know for all of them yet, but yeah, it's just all over the place. Some very interesting thinkers and ideas, and we know that TranStar made this elaborate station in order to attract a lot of the greatest thinkers on Earth to there to study the aliens. From what I've experienced, played so far, and read through the emails and the backstory, I am so intrigued. I'm so interested. It's got me hooked. I want to know what happened. The next thing I've really enjoyed is the scavenger hunting and this mechanic that allows for environmental storytelling in open levels. We're in kind of an aftermath sort of setting. Something really bad happened before, and we're kind of picking up the pieces and trying to solve it at the same time. Along the way, we're reading emails and notes and using different utilities like projecting a looking glass video, which is this really cool 3D thing that you find towards the end of the demo. It's all about understanding these interesting characters, what happened to them, you know, piecing together what happened in Talos I. At least in recent years, the idea of searching around, finding audio recordings, notes, and letters, emails to find out what happened to these people and understand more about them is very much a BioShock Dishonored style of storytelling. I wouldn't say Prey necessarily reinvents the wheel or does anything revolutionary in this respect, but it takes that idea and that concept and really runs with it. It's fantastic the way they pull it off. In terms of gameplay, Prey is what you would expect from this sort of game. There are weapons that you can equip, ammo you can find, powers that you can use, although I haven't found any powers yet. I'm sure that's going to be a major kind of story point that they wanted to save until after the demo. But in this game, ammo isn't abundant. You do have to be a little, you know, cautious about that. There is an element of scarcity. However, there's also a crafting system using something called a recycler and then a fabricator. So you can pick up all kinds of items around the world. A lot of them are going to be junk items. You can bring them to a machine called a recycler and then put it through that, and then it'll pop out on the other side these little cubes that you can use to bring to a fabricator, and then arrange in a formation similar to Minecraft in order to craft the item. And so there is some scarcity, but you can craft your own ammo. It's just a really cool kind of side system that plays into the lore and the fantasy of this futuristic world. You know, having something where you could just recycle anything, any kind of synthetic, organic, whatever material, and then go on and create something else is a really cool sci-fi thing. Let's talk about the combat and enemies. And when I first saw mimics, I thought, it looks kind of gimmicky. They can hide as anything. I'm not really sure that's gonna be great, whatever. Man, I was wrong. Holy shit. Running around Talos I and suddenly having a mimic pop up at you that used to be a mug or a chair or something is terrifying. I mean, I was jumping a few hours into the demo, and they aren't the easiest thing to kill. Sometimes I pull out my wrench and it takes me 3 whacks to get them. That's just normal, but sometimes I am just whacking for my life because I can't seem to get them. They're so slippery and hard to get. And if you let one slip away, they will hide as something else and then come back to get you when you're least expecting it. They're really a fantastic enemy and mechanic, and it really makes you paranoid as you're going around the station. The only other enemy I've fought so far is the Phantom, and there's been 2 variants, I believe. One of them was on fire, that was the tougher one, then the other ones were just normal, but they have different ranged attacks, one that's just an explosion of fire, another one that just looks like a projectile, and they are more typical enemies, I would say, but if you don't get up close with a shotgun or shoot them with your 9mm from a range, they will also mess you up. The glue cannon has been such a cool weapon, such an interesting exploration mechanic as well, because it allows you to jump and hop into different areas if you create your own path with the glue cannon. It's really cool. Towards the end of the demo, I also picked up a silly toy crossbow that you can use to detonate certain objects at a distance. There's just a lot of different tools to accomplish your goals. It's very Dishonored 2 in that way, very Arkane, I guess you could say. Now let's talk about some of the aesthetics and design choices. I love to play Arkane games because they are beautiful. They are so well designed and presentable. The menus, the characters, the gun models, it's just such a joy to play this game. Just scrolling through the inventory, looking at the different neuromod paths and upgrades and reading different emails and data, save codes that I've collected, all of it is so seamless and it really fits in with the theme of the game. And the process of looking at all this stuff makes sense, right? You pull up this transcribe, I think is what it's called, up to your eye, and then you've got this full suite and menu. So you're not taken out of the experience. You know, the HUD and everything is not intrusive whatsoever. It all feels immersive, and that's by design. The music is so good in this game. The opening sequence and the simulation. Thank you, Mick Gordon. Thank you so much for working with Bethesda and different studios for making these wonderful soundtracks. So far, I am blown away. That opening sequence in the helicopter gave me goosebumps. He did great work on Doom, which came out last year, and if you remember, the music in that game, how it starts up, picks up, and stops, was all based on the cadence of combat, and it would kind of put you in this combat trance of just destroying demons, and it was such an important part of why that game was so fun to play. In Prey, the goal was definitely different, but it's from more of a suspenseful perspective, so you've got moments where there is no sound whatsoever. It's kind of eerie in that way, and then whenever a mimic pops out of nowhere, you hear it, you know, because you hear the music. It's a great tool for suspense in the gameplay, and then it keeps playing if there's still a threat around you. So music is almost like a tool in this game that you can use. But it's more than that. It's wonderful to listen to. And so I can't wait to hear more, progress more in the game, and hear more of the work that Mick did. I feel like there's so much more I could talk about, and I probably will do that in the week leading up to Prey. But overall, this opening hour demo, I just want to hop on a soapbox here and talk about this. This is a demo that you can squeeze 3 to 4 hours out of. I think there's things that I actually missed, and I streamed almost 4 hours of it. This, again, was titled the Demo Opening Hour. This is 3 to 4 hours of a really good game, in my opinion, so far, and it's free. Anyone can play it. I don't know if it's staying until after the game comes out or what, but this is such a good idea. This is letting the game speak for itself. 3 to 4 hours should be plenty of time for someone to decide whether or not they want to buy a game. It's free. It's a simple concept, but it makes total sense. It's letting the game speak for itself, and I couldn't think of a better way to sell a game than saying, you know what? Here's 3 hours of it. 3 hours. You play it for yourself. If you don't like it, don't buy it. No skin off your back, no skin off ours. You didn't pay any money. We didn't lose anything, nothing like that. But if you do like it, then you can go ahead and buy the full game and keep your progress. Now, I had a feeling I would already like the game and buy it anyways, just because of who's involved, the writers, the designers, all of that. But yeah, what better way to sell a game than this? I think this is the model that most developers should follow. Let the game speak for itself. I know PC players will bring up very real concerns about there not being a demo on PC. I couldn't tell you why that's the case, but of course, Dishonored 2 did not release in an acceptable state in terms of optimization for that platform. So I will be paying attention to Prey's PC platform version when it does come out. I sincerely hope that Arkane and Bethesda figure that out this time around, because there would be no worse PR than to find out that the PC version again is not up to par. Anyways, guys, those were my thoughts on the Prey opening hour demo. I'm so excited to play the rest of the game, and I'd love to hear what you guys thought about it as well. Whether you watched me, played it yourself, or watched someone else, let me know what you thought about the game and if it convinced you to buy the game, and if you think this opening hour demo is a good idea. I can't see a downside to it. Seriously. 3 to 4 hours. It's insane. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe for more Prey content, my complete playthrough, as well as tips and tricks guides when the game comes out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.